Aotearoa, and welcome to Tuesday's Economy Watch, where we follow the economic events and trends that affect Aotearoa. I'm David Chaston, and this is the international edition from interest.co.nz. And today we lead with news. Australia seems to have avoided American ire when Prime Minister Albanese visited Washington overnight. They ended with a rare earth agreement, confirmation of the AUKUS submarine deal, and unchanged 10% tariff rates to the US. Albanese also seems to have avoided being forced into an overt anti-China position and has resisted committing to defence spending above 2% of GDP. Trump wanted 3.5%, but that seems sidelined now. It is also pretty clear that having US support can be a toxic advantage for the US. Despite the US committing more than $20 billion of US taxpayer funding to bolster its currency, Trump's support of Argentina is leaking those funds fast, with traders taking the support funds as fast as they can, and the peso is weakening fast. And Argentina is rushing to sell China soybeans to replace American farmers. You couldn't make this stuff up. In Canada, producer prices rose 4% in September from a year ago, the most since January, and prior to that, the most since January 2023. But this strong rise was mostly caused by the rise in precious metals costs, especially for gold. Meanwhile, the latest Business Outlook survey for Canadian businesses undertaken by their central bank shows a modest recovery in sentiment, but conditions remain quite subdued there. In China, their central bank kept their key lending rates at record lows for a fifth consecutive month in October, as was expected. The rate of fall in China's new house prices mellowed in September, according to official data. They were down an overall 2.3%. Shanghai remained the outlier with a 5.6% rise, slightly below August's 5.9% increase for that city. But for resales, it is still tough, with none of their 70 largest urban areas reporting a gain, either month-on-month or year-on-year, not even Shanghai. If you buy new there, you can still only sell into a falling market. And in a surprise to no one, China said its third quarter 2025 GDP was up 4.8% from a year ago, but that showed weaker than expected consumer demand. They also reported retail sales were only up 3% in September, a one-year low, compared with 3.4% gain in August, whereas industrial production was said to be up 6.5% in September, up 5.2% in August. Regular readers will know that we also track electricity production as a hard check against these other top-line claims. That showed only a 1.5% rise from a year ago. It regularly trails claims of big industrial output and is a core reason why we're sceptical of those outside official claims. And the latest trade and tariff threats from the US is causing trans-Pacific freight rates to spike again as goods are rushed to beat the threatened imposition. But this spike is much more muted this time, as most Chinese firms have transitioned away from US supply in a significant way. On the import front, some decoupling by China is stark. China's monthly soybean imports from the US have fallen to zero for the first time in 7 years. They were replaced by mostly South American sources. And China is also strangling rare earth magnet exports to the US, which could be serious for some American companies, including defence contractors. In France, after a tense political week, Standard & Poor's downgraded France's credit rating in a rare unscheduled adjustment, citing political instability that threatens the government's efforts to repair its finances. Basically, their public purse can't afford their generous retirement benefits, but the population insists they be kept, irrespective of the damage to the state. In Germany, producer price deflation stayed well embedded, with prices falling 1.7% in September from a year ago, although this was less than the 2.2% retreat in August. And the US Treasury 10-year yield is now at 3.99%, down 2 basis points from yesterday at this time. And the price of gold will start today at $4,346 an ounce, up $95 from yesterday, a 2.2% surge to start the week. Silver hasn't had the same surge, though. And American oil prices are 50 cents lower, at just on $57 a barrel, while the international Brent price is now just on $60.50 a barrel. And the Kiwi dollar is now just on 57.5 US cents, up 10 basis points from yesterday. Against the Aussie, we're down 10 basis points at 88.2 Australian cents. against the euro were up 10 basis points to 49.3 euro cents. That all means our trade-weighted index starts today at just under 62 and up 10 basis points. And the Bitcoin price starts today at $110,505 and up 1.6% from this time yesterday. Volatility over the past 24 hours has been modest though, at just on plus or minus 1.7%. You can get more news affecting the economy in New Zealand from interest.co.nz. Kia ora, I'm David Chaston, and we'll do this again tomorrow.